Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. Chris here. Welcome back to another retro video review or refurb, restoration, fix-up donation machine review here. I've got this interesting touch systems case. I don't know if that's a company maybe or something where they've got this logo here. Anyways, it's an older case that I kind of cleaned up, found some spare panels to kind of fit into the empty slots here, and we're gonna take a quick look at it. So from the front, you can see here we've got a couple USB ports and audio connectors. There is a blank here for a floppy disk drive, which there is no floppy disk drive installed in this. And we've got our power and reset buttons, indicator lights. Ooh, around to the back. Oh. And we've got our power supply installed. We've got our system board. We do have a GPU installed in here, and then everything else is kind of blank, and I left these slots open just to allow for some airflow. I know it's not generally great in terms of letting dust in, but just with the limited amount of fans and stuff that are in here, just to allow some airflow that maybe come in through the bottom to get pushed out through the top, because there isn't really any venting from the front of the machine. So we'll get this pushed down on the bench and take a quick look inside at the hardware. Okay, top down looking, we've got our, here's our power supply, this high quality Evolution Commitment. I don't know if that's a brand. It's a total output 350 watt power supply, so not great, but it was in really pretty good condition. Physical examination inside to make sure that the caps weren't blown or anything. Works great. We've got our system board here. We've got an ASUS board. I don't think I can read. Oh, can I read this? It is an M2A-VM HDMI. So there you go. It's an AMD board, and we'll take a look at the stuff when we get it booted up. Graphics card I installed in here is a, what is it? It's going to be a guess, because I don't remember if this one is an HD card or if this is a NVIDIA card that I managed to get working on Windows 10. We'll find out. It'll be a surprise, because I don't remember exactly which card I installed in here. Then we got a 3.5-inch hard drive here, hooked up via SATA. Not much else going on in this, pretty simple design. 4 1-gig sticks to give us 4 gig of RAM. And yeah, the board itself is in pretty good shape. Nothing wrong with any of the caps or anything like that. So we'll get the case set up here. We'll get it set up with the monitor and the other components that are going to be going into this donation, and take a look at our Windows setup. All right, so we're all set up on the desktop here. We've got the tower plugged in. I've got this Targus keyboard. It's a USB keyboard. It has a kind of a short length on it. I think it's like a mobile keyboard. It's also kind of small. So depending on how the person sets it up, they may need to plug this into like the front USB ports or something instead, or have the computer up on the desk. And we have this ViewSonic monitor. It's a 16 by 10, I believe, 20 or 21 inch monitor, plugged in through VGA. It was having some problems with a DVI connection. But the VGA analog connection seems to be working just fine. And then this isn't the mouse that's going to come with it. I'm low on mice. I'm always low on some kind of part. Right now it's mice. So this is just kind of like the test mouse that's going to go with it. But we'll get powered on here. Get the power button for the monitor and then the power button for the computer. And we'll get booted up. So the fans are a little loud. But it does what it needs to do. You saw the splash screen for your motherboard, and now we'll have the Windows boot sequence come through. And while Windows is booting up, we will realign the camera here and get ourselves closer to the screen so we can take a look at our configuration details and our crowd wave test. All right, our hardware info will give us all of our details summary here for the important parts of the machine. So we've got this ASUS M2A-VM HDMI motherboard. I flashed it to the latest version, which is revision 5001. That would support AM3 processors as well, but the processor we have in here is an AMD Phenom 2, actually a really awesome processor. It's an X4 965 Black Edition. So you know, if Snicker Rick is watching this, he's gonna, you know, say that, yeah, this is a good piece CPU. Great for like if you want to overclock it for like a Windows 7 retro gaming rig. You know, this is wanted to have a good quality processor here to pass on for someone here to use for computing. So it's a quad core proc. Great performance. I'm not overclocking it. I believe this was previously overclocked in the machine I pulled it out of that had like a whole bunch of the board that this was plugged into had like destroyed VRMs. So it works in this Asus board, but I'm not doing any overclocking on it. So it's you know, it's going into its retirement in terms of its usable life to have a nice easygoing couple of years here as a basic Windows 10 machine. We've got 4 gig of RAM installed. It's DDR2 memory. So not the most fast memory. Obviously, this processor would be better paired with a board that supports DDR3, so you can get better speed out of it. And then graphics-wise, I've got this GeForce 7300 GT, which is not a super powerful graphics card, but I always like to try and use a GPU where possible, even if it's lower powered, instead of using onboard graphics that share the memory. So that means all 4 gig are available for Windows to resource for application use. And then we've got a 160 gig Western Digital spinner. It's a 7200 RPM hard drive at least, but yeah, it's not super fast as a spinning disk. But again, for basic Windows function, this kind of spec usually does the trick. All right, let's swap over to our crab rave test, which we've got hopefully all buffered up here. I'm running a 720p for our resolution here. And that fits, you know, kind of within the frame. The frame window here is a 1680 by 1024, I think. It says 945 here. I'm not sure why the window is showing up like that. But we're fully buffered here. Let's hit the play button and see how it goes in terms of frame drops. So we are getting some frame drops right off the bat, which tells us, yeah, there's render issues here. This is with H.264 running in Chrome as well to make sure that we have the older codec available for everything. But we do drop quite a few frames, and I would say that's probably based on the graphics that are on here. Obviously, the processor, that Phenom 2 processor, shouldn't be having any problem with handling this. You may not be able to hear the audio very well. I do have an audio cable plugged into the speaker input for this ViewSonic monitor, but it's really, really low. Like the audio speakers in this monitor are, I think they're passive. Like they're no boost at all. Probably whoever gets this is going to want to, you know, have a headset or something to plug into this, or a pair of amplified speakers to be able to hear better, because it is pretty quiet. And it doesn't help that you've got these like super loud fans in the computer as well. But all in all, the system works. It's pretty decent quality. If we switch down to 480p resolution on this, we'll probably get rid of all these dropped frames, which will definitely be better. And yeah, overall, the system is ready to go. So that will complete our look at this Touch Systems Franken PC. I don't know if we would call it the Franken PC, but this rebuild PC. And happy to get it donated to somebody in the near future, sometime during this summer. As always, I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and we'll catch you in the next one.